Okay, so today's lesson is going to be about David Hume, and we're going to talk about determinism and free will. Let's wait for some students.
Hi.
There we go. Imad, how are you?
Yeah, very nice, thank you.
Good, I'm glad you came today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good, how has your day been?
Wow, it's early morning now. It's 7 a.m.
That's right, that's right. I guess, how has your day started? How is it?
Well, it's good. It's like the first time I spent the night sleeping, so now I'm very energetic. Feeling energetic.
Good, okay, what are your plans today?
Well, I have a lot of things today. Let's hope it will work good. Maybe I'm going to attend the first class in first aid classes. So I don't know, and maybe it will be very nice today.
No, I think that sounds like a good plan. A good plan. Well, good. Okay, then we got Josie. I'm glad you stopped by. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm good. I'm almost asleep, but I'm okay.
So are you going to stay up with us or are you going to go to bed?
I'm bed.
Okay. Well, you should come. You come to my classes tomorrow. I'm teaching tomorrow morning. So, or I guess tomorrow, let's see. I've got one at... Are you 4 hours ahead of me? Or no, you may be more than that. What time is it over there?
3 a.m.
3 a.m. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, you are 5 hours ahead of me. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock right here. But I teach tomorrow at, let's see, it's 11 my time. So it'd be 11, 12, 2, 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow, your time. You should come.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, thank you for stopping by to say hi, Josie. Glad you did that.
Okay, I'm glad. Cool.
Okay, let's see. We've got Michaela, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. What are you?
I'm good.
I was just kidding with what I wrote.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I looked sad.
Yes, you were like, oh, nobody's coming. But yeah, we're here.
Well, good. So, Michaela, where are you from?
I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Oh, nice, Argentina. Okay. And what time is it over there?
It's 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Okay, so you're a night owl as well? Meaning
Yeah.
you stay up at night.
Sometimes.
There you go. There
No,
you go.
sometimes.
Okay. And so,
Today because it's Friday. Yes.
there you go. There you go. And why are you learning English?
Because I love it, and also because I want to become an English translator. So it's very important to be good at it, and a great way of learning, just practicing.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's good. So how long have you been learning English?
More or less like 12 years.
Nice. Well, good deal. I'm glad you're here, Michaela. Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we've got Shelly. Shelly, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Good. Shelly, where are you from?
I'm from Taiwan, but living in Japan.
Oh, okay, nice. And what time is it over there?
It's 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay, well, good deal. And tell me, why are you learning English?
It's my hobby.
Okay, well, that's good. And then, what do you do for work?
Actually, I have some jobs, part-time jobs. One of them is I'm the window for a Taiwan high-tech company, and I help them for trading. So sometimes I need using English and Japanese.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, well, good deal. Good deal. My cousin, he lived in Taiwan for a while. He lived in Taipei. He loved
Oh,
Taiwan.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Cool.
then he learned how to speak Chinese, Mandarin Chinese.
Yes, yes.
He said it was very hard to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to admire him for that. That's.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, good. I'm glad you came here. Then we've got Mito. Mito, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good, good. What are your plans today?
Attending your class.
That's
Talking
good.
about some philosophy, like yesterday, destiny, all that stuff.
I think that should be pretty good. I know today we're going to talk about something very similar, right? We're going to talk about free will and determinism, right? So it should be pretty good. I know Hume he doesn't believe we have free will, so it should be kind of good to discuss it. I think.
It was me.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
I always think it's a very interesting conversation. So I enjoy talking about it. It should be a fun class, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's see. Then we've got Mariette. That's how I say it. Mariette, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Okay, Mariette, where are you from?
I'm from Venezuela, but I'm living in Ireland.
Oh, nice, nice. Venezuela. Okay, I always liked Venezuela. I did a couple research papers on Venezuela when I was in school, so I think it's a good place. How's Ireland? Mariette?
Could you hear me?
No. How is Ireland?
I could say it's nice, but I hear a lot of Portuguese here and Spanish because there are a lot of people from Brazil living here.
Do you speak Portuguese?
A little, but I want to practice English here. And I notice there are a lot of people from other countries here in Dublin.
Oh, I lived in Brazil, and so I learned some Portuguese. I like Portuguese, and I'm trying to learn Spanish, so it's pretty good. So how long have you? Yeah, they are very close. How long have you lived in Ireland?
Just 3 months.
Just 3 months.
But I expect to be here until October this year.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty good. And then you're going to go back to Venezuela?
I'm not sure because I don't know. My mom lives in Portugal, and maybe I will go there.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Okay, can you guys, really quick, can you guys read my messages? It doesn't look like it's letting me type messages in the chat box.
No, I can't read it.
Huh, okay,
I
I keep typing and, let me see here. I'm going to fool around with this.
What is this class about?
Okay, so this is a philosophy class, right? So we're going to talk about different philosophers, okay? You don't have to worry a whole bunch. We're not going to go too deep into it. It's more just about expressing your opinions, right? So we're going to talk about some of the ideas that these philosophers had, and then we're just going to talk about some of their ideas, debate them, right? So for example, today's class, we're going to talk a little bit about free will, right? Do we have free will? Can we choose things, or is everything determined? Does that make sense?
It's like destiny or something, but in a different way.
Exactly. Yes, it's like destiny. One thing that we might want to say is different. When I say something like destiny, that's a word that's a little more. It almost sounds a little more
Religious.
Religious, exactly. That's a good word for it. Yes, where determined is not as religious, right? So
Facultative and propulsive.
yeah. So we can we could use the word destiny, but we'll try not to because I think it's okay to use that word, but usually destiny has more of like a God wants it to happen, But when we say determined, it's more of like
But
just
free will means that
The robot man is back.
free will is not presented because of the rules or religions or something that is restricted, including the destiny, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand you there, Imad.
Okay. Free will. If you want to get the free will, then you can do whatever you want. But the opposite of free will is that we have restricted freedom, and we have rules. For example, is that the idea of the class?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that we don't have free will, or we do. We can debate it. We're going to talk about that. Okay. First, I want to see if I can get my chat box here to work. I don't know what's going on here, and I want to be able to chat in the box as well. So let's see. Nothing. Let's see.
I cannot write. I don't know why.
Okay, you can't do it either.
And I'm sorry if I speak very slowly, very loud, but it's 5 a.m. here.
No, you're doing great, and you're. That's why. Yeah, exactly. That's what everyone's saying.
I cannot sleep, and I'm here, but I cannot make so much noise.
Okay. Well, God, let's see. I've got to see if I want to get this. Does anyone else have any problems with the chat box where they can't type something in?
I can type, but if you type, I cannot see what you type.
Yeah, that's my problem as well.
Maybe no, but I mean.
When you press enter, it takes a new line.
Exactly. Yeah. So how do I get it to put it in there? Does anyone know?
Eric.
Yes.
When you press enter, it creates a new line. It doesn't send what you type.
Right. Do you know how I can send it?
Still trying to push, push Shift or Control or Alt and anything else, but it doesn't work. It just creates a new line.
Yeah, that's my problem too.
I don't see any button to send a message.
Nothing in settings.
Okay, well, that might make it a little...
Yes, because there is no button. Just a new Hangout.
Well, let's see. Yeah, it just goes to a new one. Can I do anything with this?
It works in the chat, but not in the verbal classes.
I know. Okay, well, this is what I think we'll do. If I can't get this to work, we'll just go on without it. But that is too bad.
What about the links?
Yeah, have you guys been able to open my links?
Where are they? Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's working now.
Yay!
Okay, well, what I've had to do is I actually have to go out of the Hangout and back into the Verbling class. So, for example, I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. Okay, so we've got this, right? And I'm going back to Verbling here, and I'm saying hello. Oh, you know what? Maybe I need to go here. Let's try that. No, we're here, so... Okay. We got it. Okay, so it should work now, and now we're getting echoes.
Okay.
Okay, alright, you guys,
I'm
now we're
glad
going to
it
go
worked
ahead.
for you, because it doesn't work for us still.
Okay, it's not... Oh no, we've got echoes here, I've got to close that. Ah, now I've ruined it.
I'm just going to rejoin.
Okay. Let's see, Yosef, how are you? Yosef, how are you? Okay, Yosef's not there.
I'm here, I'm fine. It was loading.
There you go, Joseph. Okay.
Hey,
Good.
I was waiting for this class.
Okay. I'm glad you made it. Okay.
Yeah.
How's your day been? What are your plans for today?
My day was good, just joining some classes and hanging out with some friends here online, also in the real life. So that's cool.
I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys, let's go ahead and start. We're a little behind. Let me see if I can get the links for us.
Okay.
But that's going to be... Let's see, the links. If anyone already has the links that can type but not... That would be
From yesterday?
For today. That I've
okay.
set up on the page. Okay, there's one link. And there's the second one. This is the one we're going to look at first, this second link. Oops. Right there. Okay. So this second link, right, let's open that first. We're going to look at this one first, okay? All right, so it's going to be right here, and I want to start out with this part right here, just an end paragraph, okay? Can I have someone volunteer? I'm going to zoom that in. Can everyone see that okay?
Yes, clear.
Yeah.
Perfect, okay. Let's read this part. Can someone volunteer to read that part for us?
Can I?
Please, go ahead.
Reason is not only to be the slave of the passions, and can never pretend to any other office than to serve and obey them. As this opinion may appear somewhat extraordinary, it may not be improper to confirm it by some other considerations.
Okay, good. Okay, any questions about any of these words here first?
Another office than obey. What does obey mean?
Obey?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Please.
All right, you guys, what does obey mean? Does anyone know?
When you have to do what somebody says.
Exactly. Yeah, when I do something that someone says. So I obey the law, right? I obey my parents when they tell me.
Okay.
Yes, good. Okay. Any other questions about these words? What does extraordinary mean?
Superpower.
Yeah. Good.
Peculiar.
So peculiar, yeah, something beyond ordinary. Good. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this part right here. Does anyone know what he's saying here? Any guesses? When he says reason is and ought to be the slave of the passions.
Is that like you have to like follow your passions, maybe?
Yeah, that's good. So what he's saying here, right, is we have reason, what we think, and then we have what we feel, our passions, right? So what he's saying when he says passions, he's talking about our emotions, okay? So, Yada, hi, welcome to class. I didn't see you there. I'm glad you came, Yada. Okay, so you have reason and then your emotions. And what he says is we follow our emotions, not our reason, okay? So sometimes we can think, oh, I think about what I want to do and I do that, but he says you're not really doing that. What you're doing is following your feelings first, okay? So let me give you one more example here. Okay. So if I decide, you know what, I want a sandwich, right? Because a sandwich would be good. I know how to make it. You know, I'll put some hamburger and some pickles and all that. And I'll make a good sandwich, right? We're saying you're not reasoning about that. All you're doing is being slave to your hunger. Okay. Now that's a simple one, but he's saying that applies to all things, every one of our choices, right? It's not guided by reason, it's guided by our emotions. Now, here's my question. Do you guys agree with that or disagree?
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So a lot of people agree. Okay, then I'm going to play the devil's advocate. I will play the other side. Have you guys ever been able to think yourself into depression, right? So you think about something sad, and then you become sad.
Yeah.
Does that seem like maybe that's reason controlling the passions?
It happens all the time, yeah.
Yeah.
This way, you passion, you feel sad, so you become sad, but for no actual reason, is it? Do you have real reason to be sad, or just because you feel you have just emotion, all emotion, for example? Is this is the case? If I have a reason to be sad, then it's natural to feel sad. But if I am, for example, following my emotions or something in the past that I just remembered and I feel sad, then it's the emotion that our passion guided us in this way, not real reasons.
Okay, so you're saying I will never be sad unless I have a reason to be sad, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't just out of a perfectly normal state decide to be sad. So,
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you guys think? Do you guys think that your thoughts control your emotions, or do your emotions control your thoughts?
I guess it's all emotional. Like when I hear some sad music, I can be sad, even if my life is perfect, but I can be sad because it makes me feel sad. Because the tones of the music is sad. The player, maybe the instrument player is having problems, so he plays his instrument with so sad emotions. So he, transfers his emotions to you from listening to his music. So you just feel sad. You don't know why, but you're sad. And vice versa.
No, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, okay, so some things can make us sad. Okay. Now, with that music, can I think myself out of that sadness?
Not until it's over.
Not until it's over. Okay. So, here's another question. Have you guys ever been depressed or really sad and then think, I've got to get out of this funk, and you start thinking about the things that make you happy?
No.
Okay, no. All right.
I think it happens all the time. When we suffer from something, we always look for a portion in our life that we can get out from this situation and think about another thing, just to forget or to stay away from our depression. I think we all do this.
Okay, Eric, that's as we said, it's happening all the time. But what does that do with the reasons? It's like the reason has been ignored here or something like that?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Say that again.
Like about the emotional thing or the passion with the reason. What he's talking about exactly?
Okay. So he is saying, right, that whenever I do something, right, I don't do it because of my thoughts. I do it because of my emotions. Okay. So here's a good example, right? When I marry someone or when I date someone, right, I have a beautiful girlfriend. I don't date her because I list in my mind and say, okay, she will take good care of me. and she will feed me a good breakfast, and she will, if I marry her, we'll have beautiful kids, right? No, I date her because of how she makes me feel. I feel in love with her, right? So here's another good idea. So the most important decisions I make, they're all emotional based, right? I choose to marry the people I choose to marry, or what the person I choose to marry, I will choose to marry because of how I feel, or I choose my job because I like learning about that stuff, or the music I like because I like how it makes me feel. So it's all emotional based and not rational, not reasonable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's clear. So in this case, he's trying to say that whatever you are doing, it's just based on a desire in you, right?
Yes, and he's trying to say
To satisfy something. So you don't have the free will to do it, or you didn't think about it, then your action, which you are.
Yes, exactly. Okay, and so that's exactly what we're going to read next, Joseph, is he's basically saying, because we are this way, everything is determined. We don't have free will because all we are doing is obeying our emotions, obeying our passions, right? So again, if I want to make a lot of money, I'm only wanting to make money because I feel greedy or I feel like I want money, right? It's because of my feelings, but it's not me deciding. It is my emotions deciding, right? That's in the same way if someone kills someone, right, because they're angry, but they know killing's not right, they only did it because of their emotions, okay? And so going back to here, where he says, reason is a slave to the passions, right? It always obeys them, and it can't do anything other than what the passions or the emotions want. Okay? Okay, so that was my building block where we want to start. Let's go ahead and read the next part, okay, so we can talk about it. We're going to go to the other link now. So if you guys want to come back here, let's go to, oh, never mind, I can't type that in. Let me.
I want.
Okay, here's the link. We made it work. Okay, so going back to this one, let's look at that now. Okay, so this is going to be a little longer here, but first, before we read this again, let me explain what he says before. Okay, so he's going to say that we don't have any free will because we only follow our emotions. And then we also look at things in science, right? And I say, okay, I'm going to take this 10, right? It will always drop to the ground if I let it go. It's always going to do that, and it cannot do otherwise. It has no free will, okay? And he says, we are the exact same way. If you put me in a situation in which I can be angry at a certain reason, I'll always act the same way, right? We're determined. We don't have any free will to do otherwise, okay? So let's go ahead and read this part. I might split it into two since it's kind of long. Can someone read this first part? Oh, I got to share screen. Okay, can someone read this first part for me?
So, okay. Are the manners of men different in different ages and qualities? And ages and countries? We learn thence the great force of custom and education, which moved the human mind from its infancy and form it into a fixed and established character. Is the behavior and conduct of the one sex very unlike that of the other? Is it then we become acquainted with the different characters which nature has impressed upon the sexes, and which she preserves with constancy and regularity?
Okay, good. Okay, let's Any questions about this section?
A lot.
Dances? Dance. The word dance.
Thence. Okay,
Yeah.
thence. Okay, good question. Does anyone know what thence mean?
Therefore, or something?
Good, yeah. Therefore. That's a good way of saying it. Therefore, yeah. So we learn from now, or we learn from that. We learn now. Okay, good. Any other words?
In the second line, we have which mold the human mind. Mold means like fixing or mold, closing or molding.
Okay, so you know when you have clay and you mold it, you shape clay? Does that make sense?
Okay, I remember it now.
Yes, so I'm molding it, I'm shaping it the way I want it. So,
Yeah,
okay,
I remember
good. Okay, let's go back. Oops, not this one. Okay, any other questions on this one?
We become acquainted.
Acquainted, okay. Does anyone know what that means? Okay, it means we come to know, right? We become familiar with, right? We come to know it. We know it, or familiarize. Excuse me, we become familiar with it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions on this part? Okay, let's. Oh, yes, what are the questions?
No, it's clear.
Okay, let's read this next part. Can I have a volunteer for this next part?
May I?
Please.
Are the actions of the same person much diversified in the different periods of his life, from infancy to old age? This affords room for many general observations concerning the gradual change of our sentiments and
inclinations,
and the different maximums which prevail in the different age of human creatures, even the characters which are peculiar to each individual have uniformity in their influence. Otherwise, our acquaintance with the persons and our observation of their conduct could never launch us their dispositions or serve to direct our behavior with regard to them.
Good. Okay, so good job. Thank you for reading that. Okay, so these are maybe a little harder words here, for sure. Any questions on them?
So many hard words. For example,
diversified.
Wow. Diversified, yeah.
Okay. Does anyone know what diversified means?
It's driven from diverse?
It's the same thing as diverse. Yes.
Oh.
Good. Yes. So many different things or differences.
And infancy driven from infant. Is it?
Yes. So infancy is infants. Infants are in infancy. Yeah.
Gradual. Sentiments.
Sentiments.
Yeah, sentiments.
Okay, sentiments are feelings.
Sentiments.
Feelings and emotions. Okay.
And inclination.
Okay, good. Does anyone know what inclinations mean?
Yes.
A person's natural tendency.
Oh, good. Yeah, a person's natural tendency. Perfect. Good. Okay. What other questions?
We also have prevail.
Prevail. All right. What does prevail mean, you guys?
Tend to be.
Yeah. What tends to be, or what wins over? What happens most likely? Okay.
Peculiar. We also have in the next line we have peculiar.
Okay. Peculiar. Peculiar.
Peculiar.
Okay.
Peculiar.
Peculiar would be something unique or individual.
Oh.
So
Very distinguished.
yeah, good distinguished. Okay.
I have a question.
Okay.
About characters. For example, in my language, in Spanish, we say a person with character. It's someone who is strong and say what they think. But I don't know, in this case it's only they are talking about the way to be only, or not about that power to show what they think or how
Okay. That's a good question. Yes, so here, right, it says even the characters. Okay, so we could think of that personalities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a personality, which is individual or unique to each individual, or here when it says character, they have a fixed and established personality. Okay.
But in this case, in English, not in this case, in English, I mean, a character, that word is only about personality, or could mean something different?
Yes, good question. Yes, so I can have a personality character, and I can also have an actor that is a character, right? So for example, I could play the character of a girl, and I could just be all, yay!
Okay.
Yes. So that would...
So it's not about, I think it's a false friend in Spanish, could be.
A false friend?
Yes, because we say a person with have character is a person who is strong and say what they think, just like that.
Okay. It could be kind of like that, other than you can have a... No, I think it could be very close to that, because you could be someone with weak character, which means you're not very morally strong, right? It's not a very good personality to have a weak character.
Yeah, we use for a strong personality.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, any other questions on that part right there?
We have acquaintance also.
Good.
Acquaintance.
Okay. So good. That means to be familiar with, or to know, our knowledge with the persons, our knowledge with people.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
We only left with the idea. I can't make a conclusion of the idea because of that hard word.
Okay, you're right. So we will explain it. Okay, you guys don't worry if it's a little hard. Okay, because it's more about just talking about it that's important. Okay, so what he's saying here is, let's look at different people. Let's look at all different people. Okay. And guess what we learn? We learn that custom and education, so how people are taught and how society raises them, forms them. It makes them into a fixed and established character. So it gives you a personality that doesn't really change. Okay. And then he says, let's look at how the different sexes or different genders, right? So let's look at males and females and see how they are. And we learn that being female makes you act one way and being male makes you act another way, right? But they're constant, they're regular, okay? And then he says, let's look at the actions of people from infancy, okay, from being a baby to becoming old. Okay, and then he says this allows us to learn that people change over time, but it's constant, right? It's the same. So babies always act the same as babies, and old people act the same as old people. Okay, and then he says even the people that are unique, even the people that we think are not the same, right, are somewhat the same. They're somewhat uniform, right? They still act within what we think human beings should act, right? And he says if that wasn't the case, we would never know about their uniqueness, right? Or understand them. But we do understand them in a sense, okay? So what he's saying, okay, is if we look at human beings throughout all of history, we'll understand that people don't have any free will. They will always act how they were raised, in what society they're in, if they're male or female, how old they are. All of that determines how you and I will act, and we don't have a choice otherwise. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that was a little hard, but that was the idea. So here's the question. Do you guys agree?
I think it's correct.
Mostly agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So mostly agree, okay? Can you guys think of maybe some exceptions? What might not be the case for that?
Sometimes you found some people in the community refuse their ambience and start to act in different way, and soon you will find if they were right, you found too many people following them, and may found some kind of uprising in some countries because of this different kind of thinking. So customs and usually ways is not always welcome, and people try to take new way or look for change, always as a human looking for change. So we change constantly in time, yeah, but is it always correct? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay,
We
you don't
have
think so.
sudden change. We have some sudden change that sometimes you found a completely different situation from time to time. I think so.
Okay, no, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Okay, Eric.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Well, I think when he was talking in this way, he's talking about determinism, right?
Determinism, yes.
Yeah, because you don't have a free will, and he based his example about how when you born and then you grow up and you are the same in several ages, and you will be growing in the same like everyone will be. So it's something determinism or determined. So I think I disagree with that. That doesn't mean you don't have a free will. That the way that you raise, the way that you grow up, that your age, and that you act to be different from place to place. It doesn't mean that you don't have a free will, I guess, because we believe in fatalism. So that make it different. You believe in fatalism, that you born and be exist for a reason, and you are growing up in this way, and all this by a higher power, which we believe it's God.
Okay.
And what you do, the action what you do in your life, that is which you have a free will to do it. So I see it from this view. I don't know. I don't know if you got my point or not.
Kind of. So fatalism, right? Or even like our talk yesterday, destiny, right? So God has a plan for you, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And so here's what can we deviate from the plan? Can I choose a different plan than what God wants for me? Joseph?
Well, now you confuse me. No, you cannot choose a different plan, but
Okay.
the thing you choose, you have a free will to choose it. Okay?
Okay.
And that is one of the plan. Okay, like God give you two ways and destined two ways for you. So if you choose that, that is your destiny and it will lead you somewhere. If you choose that, that is also your destiny and it will lead you to somewhere. So in that point, and if the example which he said, I don't think so. It's proof that you don't have a free will.
Okay. Okay. So you say that we are you saying that we don't or we do have free will?
We do free will.
We do have free will.
We do have free will.
Okay. But is it it's limited? It's small then because of what God's plan for us, or is it big? Does that make sense?
I didn't get your point.
Okay. So, for example, I can only do what God wills that I do, but I can still choose between that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of. Like
okay.
God, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, no, that makes sense. That could work. Okay. How about anyone else? What do you think? Do we work? Can we choose? Can I not choose?
Sorry, who?
Anyone that wants to speak.
May I?
Please, go ahead.
I think it's really hard to divide into reasonable or emotional person, but in my society, especially in Chinese society or in Japan society, we are told that we have to obey our role. I mean, if you are a girl, just behave like a girl. If you are a student, you have to behave like a student. If you are a businessman, you have to behave like a businessman. If you are a mother, you have to do your mother's work. But I think there are many exceptional examples I can see for my friends, especially something happened to love. I know many friends who fell in love with a man, but she or he got married to another person. And I also know some person who have got married, but they still fell in love with other persons. So I think it's hard to say we human beings are reasonable person or emotional person. It's really hard to say that. And I would say just like maybe it's just like we try to keep a balance. And sometimes I think for myself, sometimes I'm quite emotional, but sometimes I'm reasonable.
Okay, no, that's perfect. That's good. And I think you make a good point, right? Because maybe I could say, okay, well, listen, David Hume, I disagree with you, right? Because society says, my culture, my custom says, obey laws, but there are criminals, right? Then we have genders, right? We know some women that act very much like men and some men that act very much like women, right? And then maybe we know some personalities that they're very quiet, reserved, that sometimes can be very loud, right? And can do things we don't expect. Or people, again, that maybe are very outgoing and very happy that sometimes can be sad and do things, again, that we don't expect. So we might say, well, maybe that's an example of people that chose to do something differently rather than how they were molded to be, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me throw out another question or another example here, okay? So some people might say, okay, maybe we do have free will, but how big is our free will, okay? So let me give you another example. I'm white because my parents are white. I speak English because I was born in America, right? I have red hair because I eat lots of carrots. Okay, that's not true, but I have red hair because of my parents, right? So it seems like the only thing that I can choose about me is I can choose my shirt. I can choose what shirt I want to wear in the morning, right? But I can still only choose the shirts that are at the stores, right? So does that mean that my free will is really small?
I don't think so. there are other people who has a lot of of things that they cannot choose because of political reasons or other things, and we are kind of blessed if you think in certain people who are really buying to things that they don't want. I don't know if you understand.
Say that last part again, really quick.
Some people are tied or bind. I don't know how to say. It's like are in certain situations that they don't desire, but they cannot change.
Gotcha. Okay, so they're kind of stuck.
Yeah, could be. I don't find the word.
Okay, so does that mean that they have only a little bit of free will?
Yes.
Okay.
Certain people, yes.
Okay, but do others have a lot of free will?
Nowadays, you can choose from the internet, which has no boundary.
That's a good example. Yeah. So there's
I
a lot of
think
choices.
it's not the free will even okay. Even though the free will, it's not like absolute free will. Of course, it's not.
Okay.
It's not like you don't have no one has absolute free will, so he can do whatever he wants. Like as a creator, like you don't choose where to be born or in like or what language you will talk or what language you will learn since you are a child, because you don't understand it. Okay, so you don't have a free will, and I think your free will it's became more as soon as you know more, understand more, became bigger. You can make your own choice. You can do things. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I
Any
think
other?
it happened. Yeah, it
Go ahead,
happens many times to me. I tried to do something, but I can't do it, not because I'm not able to do it, no, but because I actually have feeling that I don't know how to do it, and it will look different or against my own ambience if I try to do it. I simply didn't see anyone do it, so I'm not going to do it because I'm worried that that I may fail or I may look in different way. So our culture have something to do with this point. If you live in open culture, you will have you have more freedom than if you live in a strict culture. So your freedom, for example, differ from me because my ambience try to put uh, more strict and more rules to to, uh, to to control my freedom, and also if I try to be creative, I should have at least I should have to take a look for another culture. So if I, for example, if you notice that the internet have a good influence in some cases, that people notice that they become more enlightened about something and get some courage to do whatever they want. So our emotion in this case, and my emotion in this case, prevents me from doing something because I'm worried that it may be incorrect because no one did it before. Though we always we have bounds, we have something restrict us, prevent us from doing something, not because we can't do it, we don't, nothing, we have nothing constant prevent us from doing it, but we just fear that no one did it in the past, and we will be the first people doing it. So I think it's correct that we don't have that freedom, and culture have very good, very wide effect on this in this point. Our personality will it's kind of something that I gained from my culture, and my culture have good. My culture inherits me a lot of restrictions, a lot of rules. Then I have no freedom.
Okay. So, how about? Do you think that maybe you have, in some sense, more freedom to disobey than someone that does not have a strict culture?
Yeah, my culture, for example, if I try to invent something different, I will look weird person and maybe unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do the same thing in another culture, it will be very great thing, and we may get a lot of cheering on doing it. So it's not only my freedom also is restricted to my ambient. My ambient inherits me something that I shouldn't do, but indirectly they learned me that you can't do something even if you have the will to do it. But if you do it, you will look different, and it's incorrect.
Okay, so
It's indirect message.
Okay, so your freedom is restricted by your environment and by the people.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good. And it kind of seems like that it's, in a lot of situations, it's that case, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Any other opinions, you guys?
Can I get
think
into
we
this
should
conversation?
have free will if we don't harm anyone.
Okay, so you're saying we can choose what we want as long as we don't hurt other people?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, good. Okay. And so maybe it's better if we don't have free will if we were to hurt people?
That's the point.
Okay, yeah. So, but I guess here's another question, though. Let's say criminals or murderers, do they have any free will? Could they have chosen to do differently?
It's confusing now, Eric. If we say they have free will, then we will say why they didn't choose not to do it.
Right.
Because it will take them to something bad, maybe prison or something. If we say it's something determined, so we are telling they had nothing to do. This is the nature which led them to do that. They are just some object in the nature, in this world, so that had to happen. That is something determined. Determined. So it's a little bit confusing, by the way. Like, you understand my point?
No, exactly. And I think that's a very good point, right? Because if I say they had a choice, then we go, well, why did they do it, right? But if they didn't have a choice, is it fair to punish them, right? So if he would, yeah, good.
That's my point.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. Oh, crap! You guys, time has just flown by. We have got 1 minute left here. I want to do a quick review of a couple of those words we looked at, right? And then, unfortunately, we're gonna have to quit already.
We can keep going off of air.
What's that?
We can keep going the class off of air, like.
Yeah, sure. We could still talk about off of air for a little bit. Okay, but let me do a quick review of the words here. So again, we've got passions again mean emotions, right? Then we had let's see, was there anything else on this one? Extraordinary, beyond ordinary. Then we'll go here. Oh wait. Okay, here. So we had lots of different things here. We had character would be a personality. Mold, right? That would be to shape or to form. Thence, right? Would be therefore, or even we learn now. Infancy, right? It's the stage at which infants or babies are at. Then we had, let's see, what was some of the other ones? Prevail, to become or to win over, okay? Inclinations, right? How we tend to act, okay? Sentiments meant feelings, okay? All right, you guys, we need to end this class so the other class can start here, but I'm going to leave my Facebook for anyone that wants to leave any suggestions or ideas. And any last questions? Are there any questions? Oh, I'm too late. I can't leave the the link. I'm sorry, you guys. I do have a link to Facebook. You can find it on my page. But I better end this. Any last questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, you guys, thank you for coming. You guys were awesome. And I'm teaching again in 2 hours if you guys want to come to my class. So I'm going to end the broadcast right now, but thank you for coming, okay?
Thank you very much.
you.
Thank you.